2010 was a big year for gaming, especially for me on a more personal level. That was truly when my knowledge of the gaming world expanded. I was paying attention to current stories, websites, and got my first taste of E3 coverage. But when you talk 2010, the one thing that stands out amongst everything else is a little Wii game called Donkey Kong Country Returns. This is less a look back on the game itself and more about the memories I had first discovering this game, and the effect it had on several aspects of my life going forward. I should let you know that while I played a lot of the original Donkey Kong Country, heck, it was one of, if not the first game I ever played, I didn't get to the rest of the trilogy until getting a Nintendo Wii. I didn't even know there was a DKC 2 and 3 until 2005. I kid you not, I was reading an edition of Owl magazine at school when I flipped to the games section and I saw the hovercraft render of Dixie and Kitty. The segment had hints and tips for Donkey Kong Country 3 on Game Boy Advance and I went, wait, they made more of these? What? After getting my Wii in 2009, I got Country 2 and 3 through the Virtual Console, loved them, and thought, why do we not have more of this in the current day? So even though I was late to the party, I still wasn't sure what to make of DK's future as a platforming star in the late 2000s. I tried rationalizing it, realizing DK showed up in some kind of game at least once a year. If it wasn't his own game, he was at least playable or made some kind of cameo. He certainly wasn't an Earthbound or F-Zero. After playing Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on Wii and seeing the Big Ape in Punch-Out, I thought, I'm sure the series will have something in store next year, but I had no idea what it would be. I don't think I've been more excited for a game before Donkey Kong Country Returns. I didn't see the trailer when it first dropped, rather I got the news watching Spike TV during the week of E3 2010. It was on a show called Game Trailers TV, or GTTV for short, which aired at 12:30 on Friday nights and was hosted by Game Awards guy Jeff Keighley. There was a bit featuring Reggie Fils-Aimé talking about what Nintendo announced during the week, and I do believe this was the first time I had seen the Reginator in anything too. He dropped big names like Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, Golden Sun. Then I hear him say the words Donkey Kong Country Returns and see DK slam onto the screen, and my heart skipped a beat, man. I had to tell somebody, but it was late and my brother was asleep, so I had to wait until the next morning to tell him the news and see the trailer with him. And this trailer, this is how you bring a dormant series back into the fold. You've got Reggie giving this beautiful speech talking about retro studios in Texas and referring to DKC as, quote, one of the most treasured franchises in video game history, as jungle hijinks starts to build in the background. I watched that trailer so much that I memorized the speech and every single scene and sound cue well before Returns came out. If I needed to keep myself in check or I was bored, I would play that trailer a few times and get excited all over again, a practice I still practice today. Now, though I was excited, I was still a little cautious. A Donkey Kong Country not being made by Rare, no David Wise doing the music, and the only familiar faces were Donkey and Diddy. No zingers, neckies, and Retro straight up saying no Kremlings would be lurking about. I wasn't angry, more unsure of why so many elements were just plain absent. We did have minecarts, Kong letters, banana coins, and if you want to stretch it, the rocket barrel was first seen in the last level of Country 3, but Returns made me think things like, why don't the extra life balloons have Kong faces? Or, why are the sharks new enemies and not chomps from Country 1? But then I started reading articles and watching interviews and saw how passionate Retro was about getting this right and leaving their own mark on the series. Even though I would have loved to have seen more old characters, I was still eager to see all the new stuff Returns would bring. Seeing that Rambi, Squawks, and Cranky were here did help cushion the blow a bit though. November couldn't come fast enough, and with each passing day and new trailer, that butterfly feeling was building up inside me. Come November 21st, my brother and I saved up our money and had our mom drive us to Zellers, a now defunct Canadian store chain. We ran through the store as fast as we could without raising suspicion, swung by the game section, and it felt like forever for the person to go behind the glass and pull the game out. Then we went home, put that sucker in the Wii, and the rest is history. We got through Returns in a week or so and enjoyed every second. At that point, it was the most wild time we had with a platformer ever, and not much has surpassed it since then. One of my favorite memories was first playing Crowded Cavern and seeing all the ways the big squeakly bat tried to kill us. And it all topped off with that crazy sonar beam and the squeakly biting the dust. It was like playing a scene right out of an action movie. Stuff like this happened throughout the game and I thought, man, this could not be done in the old games. This is so cool. Now if you know me, you know how much I love Returns already. I did a whole Did You Know Gaming episode on it and it ranked number 4 on my top 10 favorite games list. And while said list is certainly out of date, Returns is still a phenomenal game. Every now and again, I think about some of the stuff I've watched and followed, and Returns is linked to a fair bit, either directly or indirectly. It's how I was made aware of the Donkey Kong fan site DK Vine, because one of their staffers put out a video talking about the new cast of enemies. It was confusing, vulgar, and I'm not sure I'd recommend it, but it was my gateway into the madness, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You may have also heard of movie reviewer Jeremy Johns, and I first heard of him because he had a review of the game up and ready. Returns also introduced me to the one and only Game Explain, who talked about their time playing the game a month before release in what was their very first Game Explain discussion. When I hear that classic discussion theme, it takes me right back to those late October days of 2010. Speaking of which, Returns is the driving force behind the creation of this channel. See, in late October, I came across a video which took Returns' first trailer and added voiceover to it, and it was called DK's Day Out. Looking back, it wasn't that funny, but I wanted to leave a comment on it. So I came up with the TheCartoonGamer name on the fly, and while video making wasn't on my mind just yet, it was the first step into this new online world. Most of the folks I subbed to at the time had something nice to say about Returns, and if you go back to IGN's coverage on the game, you may find some of my oldest internet comments hidden within those preview videos. Donkey Kong Country Returns holds a very special place in my heart. Not only was it a blast, but it showed me how an old series can still be great with a new team behind it. It showed me how you combine old ideas with new ones to make all new memories, and it even helped shape the person I am today. When I play tough platformers, I thank Returns for preparing me for just about anything. At Fan Expo 2015, I was the only guy to beat the bird boss in the Cuphead demo, because whatever it threw at me, I said, I played Retro's Donkey Kong games, I've been down this road before, you ain't slick. If I could thank everyone possible with this game's creation, I would, because it means more to me than many could ever know. And its existence led to an even better game in Tropical Freeze, and when we get that third entry in the DKC Revival series, I'm sure that one will be even better. Any day now. Any day now. But until then, I'm fine with playing Tropical Freeze and Returns a few more times over. One of these days, I will beat Jagged Jewels in Mirror Mode. Again, any day now. Hey there folks, thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to give this video a like, share with a friend, subscribe, check out my social media pages, Patreon page, blah 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 blah, all that good stuff I always go on about. And if any of you out there have played Returns, or you were there when the game was first announced, share some of your fondest memories with me in the comments below. And while you're here, feel free to check out the videos I got on screen. I enjoyed making them, I hope you guys enjoy watching them. And with all that said, I will see you guys next time. Later!